Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking to you about the composers who were convinced by Andres Segovia to compose for the guitar, even though they didn't play the guitar at all. From the beginning of his career, Andres Segovia tried to convince the great composers to compose for classical guitar. With their new compositions and new harmonies, Segovia would reach the great theaters and the international concert circuit from which the guitar had until then been excluded. So thanks also to Segovia's interpretations, they became among the most important composers for classical guitar of the 20th century. I'm also trying to make a ranking to the 5 most loved by Segovia, those that Segovia loved to play in his classical guitar concerts around the world. Segovia met him for the first time in Venice in 1932, and their collaboration continued until 1968. During the Second World War, the two great artists lived, one in Montevideo and one in Beverly Hills, where he also taught composition to the composers of Hollywood film. The two continued to send letters and Segovia always received new works to play and record. I'm talking about a great genius born in Florence, Italy. I'm talking about Mario Castelnuovo-Tedesco. In third place of my ranking, a great composer, even if he played a little guitar, but he had not studied the technique, so he thought of revolutionizing the technique of the classical guitar. He had already composed for guitar before meeting Segovia, but Segovia convinced him to compose studies for guitar. He claimed to have composed his music in the forest of Brazil, but in reality he lived in Paris. I'm talking about the greatest Brazilian composer in history. I'm talking about Heitor Villa-Lobos. In third place, a great Polish composer who, after a trip to the United States, collaborated with George Gershwin and composed a concert dedicated to Charlie Chaplin. Then, while he was in Venice, where he loved to walk for a long time through the small streets, he composed a cavatina, also inspired by the gondolas, which entered permanently into the repertoire of Segovia. I'm talking about the genius of harmony and invention. I'm talking about ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, Alexandre Tansman. In second place is the one who was the first composer to answer the call of Andres Segovia, who was looking for non-guitar composers to enrich the guitar repertoire. He composed hundreds of magnificent pieces for guitar, many of which were recorded by his friends Andres Segovia. His compositions even inspired Manuel Ponce to compose for guitar. He was born in Madrid, and the collaboration with Segovia lasted decades. I'm talking about the great genius Federico Moreno Torroba. All these composers were also very good friends of Andres Segovia and frequented him and received from him letters where Segovia suggested ideas for changes or for new compositions. In first place, I put a composer who was his friend more than all the others, even agreeing to participate in a joke where he pretended that his compositions were ancient music by Leopold Weiss, a German composer. Segovia often went to his house in Mexico, where he also asked him for advice on how to transcribe Bach. He accepted all of Segovia's requests thanks to his immense talent. I'm talking about the great genius Manuel Ponce. Thank you very much. Click like if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Bye.